with business quotations. So it's really a business bureau. They're all queuing there. These places are jam-packed. People queuing up, waiting their turns to get things tied. All the things that you and I take for granted because we have our PC, they can't do it. So they come to these places to have it done. We started one store in 2008-09. Today we have 39 stores, 39 outlets. We graduated over 20,000 kids. And we're now trying to put a financial package together so that the talented kids who come through are now working as managers in some of these branches, these outlets. And we want to be able to help them to own their franchise. We want to encourage some of them to go to other parts of South Africa now, right? Set up your own franchise. We'll finance it, and you're going to run it. So you end up owning these franchises. Computer education. This is in Uganda. Some of you might know solar now. So this is one of my investments. And this is basically a financing package to help households have solar power. What we're now finding is that most of the time, once they've got the power, is they want to buy a small fridge, they buy an iron, and they buy a television. So this is a chain that will keep us spanning about 37 outlets now in Uganda. So again, addressing the big problem that we have in Africa, power. You know, power is so central. Without power, we really can't do an awful lot. So how do we get more and more of the population to have some source of power? And by the way, when I started about 15 years ago, the big thing was, you know, power to charge a mobile phone. Hey, forget it. That's a given. Everybody assumes that that's going to happen. Now, they want to be able to have a fridge, they want to have a television, all the things that you and I aspire to. Yeah? All the things that we aspire to, they want as well. This is in northern Kenya, on the border almost towards Uganda. This is a project that is about tree planting, renewable forestry. And the way they do it is they have a nursery and they have a contract arrangement with small farmers. They say, you've got land that isn't used. We want to put some trees here. You've got to look after it for 7 years. At the end of 7 years, when it harvests it, we share the profit. Sounds like a model that should work. Today, after 7 years, they have planted 2 million trees. 2 million trees, and we've just given them some money to build the first sawmill. So most of the first harvest will go into making fence poles, which we need a lot of in Africa, and also charcoal. Right, so at least there'll be a renewable charcoal source. But we've also then given them some additional money now to go and plant another 2 million trees. This time in 3 years rather than 7 years. Deforestation is a big problem for us now in Africa because in the northeastern part of Uganda and northeastern Kenya, we've had droughts for the last quite a few years now. And areas that used to be able to grow maize, we can't grow maize anymore. We're now growing cassava. It's because all the trees are gone, deforested. And even Mount Kilimanjaro, I mean, the snow is sort of disappearing because the trees have disappeared. There's no moisture. There is no moisture. We've got to take seriously this whole history of our trees. If we don't protect our trees, we're going to be in a lot of trouble. I just come back from Zambia. This is the northern part of Zambia, about 10 km from the border to the Congo. And this is an organic honey production business. And the reason I like this was several-fold. First, it works with small farmers. So the farmers just hang up these beehives up there, and they've got some really clever, simple technology for doing all that. It's a passive income. So the bees just come automatically, harvest it twice a year, and they have an income. In the first year, it will double their annual income. by the time these are fully mature, they'll probably have 4 times their current annual income. There are now 60,000 beehives in this program, working with 20,000 farmers. And we're just putting in another tranche of money now to get from 20,000 to 40,000 farmers. That's 40,000 families. So in my several days there, most of the time I just went out to talk to the farmers. But the big thing they're telling me is, we now have money to send our children to school. Investing in their children's education. Now that's really the way that the country is going to work. Right? So, but there's another side benefit which I hadn't appreciated. Right? I mean, these guys now produce about 230 tons of honey a year. Okay, I mean it's big volume stuff. So all that's good. But the other thing that I didn't appreciate was the farmers have now appreciated the importance of the forest. More beehives, more bees. These need trees, because trees got the flowers, right? And suddenly, they're not chopping down trees. They're saying, we need these trees. We need the forest, because that's our income. So that's really interesting, what's happening there. Okay, this is in Malawi. This is a outgrowers model producing paprika, monstouche for export into the UK. 4,000 farmers have this in this program, and they're producing quality stuff for export into Europe. I must move on. This is a project that rescues women and children from the sex industry in Cambodia. We have a growing problem with trafficking, human trafficking, not just in Asia, but also in Africa. Human trafficking, there's more human slavery today than during the time of Wilberforce, sadly. So we rescue these women and our children are rescued. They go through a program of counseling to try and restore a bit of their emotional lives. And then we give them some skills and then try and find a job. The problem is once employers find out their background, they don't employ them. There's a taboo because of their background. So Pierre Tammy, who started this project 25 years ago, then started a number of businesses to try and provide employment for them. Today, there are 4 businesses employing about 800 people in all. And there is a Vietnamese version of Starbucks chain. We run the largest industrial catering business in Cambodia, Phnom Penh. We run a canteen for the U.S. Embassy. We run a canteen for the Intercontinental Hotel, the Ritz-Carlton Hotel. Other jobs that these women can transition into with a bit of pastoral care. So there's still a pastoral program that's there, but at least they're starting out independent. And the great thing is this, they have something of their own dignity restored. Right? And they're becoming productive citizens of their own country again. So it's not dependent on aid, it's not dependent on charity, they're not independent, we're helping them to be independent and be productive citizens of their own countries. This is a business that addresses a big problem that's growing in Indonesia, migrant labor. So these men leave their villages, they work overseas, work in the Middle East, wherever, and because they're Muslims, they can marry more wives, and it's very easy to divorce their wives. So we have a growing problem in Indonesia with these single mothers who are not supported. So here's a business using the old-fashioned A1 lady catalog. None of you are old enough like me to remember the A1 ladies. The A1 ladies used to go around social selling with catalogs. And these are selling fashion stuff, all made in Indonesia. Clothes, shoes, household items, jewelry, etc., etc. The women get 25% discount off the catalog price. That's their profit margin. Okay? So it gives them an income. Today we have 212, 15,000 sales agents. all over Indonesia. So this, out of that over 200,000, currently about 30,000 are single mothers. So we intentionally use this business to target the single mothers, to give them an income and a livelihood on a sustainable basis. So again, no charity, it's just building businesses. When I got involved with the Hagar and rescuing women from the sex industry, I thought these former sex trafficked ladies were really difficult to reintegrate into society. There's one other group that's more difficult, and that's ex-convicts, ex-prisoners. Nobody wants to touch them. Nobody wants to hire them. And so this is a project in Singapore, the largest men's prison in Singapore, where we built a call center inside the jail. It's a 100-seater call center right inside the jail. We pay a rental to the prison, we pay a salary to the prisoners, and if they're good, when they come out, we rehire them in the call center outside. This program has only been going for 2 years, but already the impact has been such that the government has now said, if you behave well inside, working in this call center, you can have 6 months early release if you go and work outside, provided you have your leg tagged. So they can't leave the house before 7 in the morning. They have to be home by 7 in the evening. But they can work outside 6 months early release. These are prisoners who are in for 6 to 8 years. Right. So it's creating businesses that can tackle the issues of poverty, but the issues of these social, really tough social issues that we have. Reoffending rate globally is 70% within 12 months. So within 12 months, our ex-prisoners will be back in jail. So prisons are great places for, reforming people. They're just not great places. We've got to find better ways of doing this. So we shoved these ex-convicts into 2 jobs. One as a call center, or 2 in transportation. We help them to get a driving license so that they start driving vehicles, because Singapore has a big tourism industry, and when the ships come or when the planes arrive, they're always needing transportation. So those are the kind of jobs that these male prisoners can do. So it's about intentionally designing businesses that can tackle some of these really, really tough social problems that we have. And hey, I could go on all day and talk to you about more and more of these kinds of businesses. We invested from Ethiopia all the way down to South Africa, as well as parts of West Africa. So we have investments in Sierra Leone, and then we have investments out in Asia. So, but in all these, we're looking at creative ways of using a sustainable business model to tackle poverty, to tackle social problems, rather than using charity and using aid. Right? So that's fundamentally the sort of basis of our investments. And we're just about mobilizing talented business people to use their talents and their experience to come and join us and help us do more. Because there's a lot more that needs to do. So thank you for your time. Happy to take questions.
I don't know what to say. You blow my mind. Some of the things that you do look like ordinary things that we see in Africa, and we have never actually looked at them as a business option. But the way you have spoken about them makes us now start to think that they are actually things that we can earn living out or actually change people's lives for. I'm sure most of you have felt the same way that I have, because the things that you've said here are amazing.